welcome everyone. Good to have you here. It's another day and another live stream. And that is what we like to do on the channel. One video in the morning, one live stream in the afternoon, and normally a video in the evening as well, which is then in, of course, a couple of hours. However, I have to speak tonight. I have a offline speaking gig in Venray. For the Dutchies here, you know where it is. It's about 2 hours travel. It's not a big country, but you know, it's still 2 hours. And I have to speak in front of an audience of about 50 people, so it's a small audience, and that means that I can't provide you with an evening update. So just so you know, there won't be a video tonight, but we have the live stream right now, and then the next update will be tomorrow morning, right? So that will be the next opportunity that I have to provide you with an update. For the people that don't yet know what I do, besides trading and YouTube, is I'm also a global keynote speaker. So if you would look for my name online, you will find lots of information about the gaming and esports industry, as that is my background officially, and also medical study, by the way, but also speaking. And you'll find the agencies, a global agency and a national agency, a Dutch agency. So how you doing, chat? What's up? The intro music is a song that I actually found in the non-copyright playlist. Here you go. It's Samurai by Jim Joseph. So I don't know this artist, but I added, so I went through the non-copyright song here, the playlist, and I just went like bum, 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 trying to find some proper songs. And I always use only the first one actually, because my timer before the stream starts is 3:20. So then I click on a song, play on live, and there we go. Occasionally I need more time, and then I have at least 2 other songs or a couple of other songs, as you've seen, to fill the time. But generally the theme song is that one. Okay, what's up, Crypto Aman? How are you doing? Yes, this is the first time, by the way, that you were first in the live stream. Very nice. Flotty, what's up? Mr. Espresso, how you doing? Mateus, Moneyzilla, Sarah, yo, could you make the music on the preview more quietly? It's very loud. Is it? I mean, can't you put the volume down maybe of your like PC or the earphones? Because with regards to the music, if I play the music, the sound of the music should be quite similar, maybe a little bit louder compared to my speaking voice. So it shouldn't be too much of a difference. I would suggest checking the volume of your device first, and then, you know, I can always change it in the future, but I've never actually heard anything about it, so hence the reason. Maybe a Band-Aid, how you doing? Good morning. And Zarega, of course, welcome as well. Rob, how you doing? Other side of the world. Malon, there you are in the live chat now, from the comment section to the live chat. Welcome. Thanks for your 2 comments, Malon, today and yesterday. Flotte, have we seen a 1, 2, 3 or a WXY from the last high? That's the question. Also, we're going to analyze the chart from an Elliott Wave point of view. So, of course, that's what we're going to do. Dimjack, welcome. Analyze the micro. We are going to zoom in into like, or we're going to talk about this drop to the downside and how it relates to the general move to the upside from 64K. So that is what we're going to do. Curries, how are you doing? Welcome. Incredible Sub-Zero. We are back indeed. Hey, in today's live stream, I have 40 minutes because at 4 p.m. I have to go and catch a train in order to arrive in time at the speaking gig for tonight. So what I want to do is talk Elliott Waves, mainly the range again and local price action, and then I also have some pictures for you of my holiday in South Africa that I didn't yet have, but my dad is a hobby photographer. He has like this big ass camera, likes to edit the pictures afterwards and choose the ones that are nice and that sort of stuff. And he actually sent a link with all the pictures. So therefore, we can have a look. Malon Bakker, Dutchie. Hey, blij om dit kanaal te hebben gevonden. Fijn dat je er bent. There you go, another Dutchie joins the crew. There's many Dutchies. Where are you from? Fake out or going lower? The general consensus, right, especially on the higher time frames, is we are looking for the 74K to be taken, but let's analyze the chart, shall we, and use the new information in our analysis. So I will remove this, and oh, by the way, it depends. If you follow my chart, you have seen these levels, and probably also when I put them online this morning. Chart sharing is on most of the time, and the link is in the description, so you can see whatever I do on the chart, you'll see it live. And we had a very nice reaction at the value area high of this range. Perfect touch, move to the upside. It's a bit of a it is a solid move. We do have arguably some bullish CVD here, but yeah, I prefer maybe some local strength. We had some bullish CVDs here, which was interesting after the bearish CVDs coming down. So that was good to see. And we moved towards the upside, and now ranging wick move down. But we're going to analyze this area of the chart as well. But I always like to start zooming out. We don't go to the weekly. We don't have the time to go through all of the different scenarios and all the different time frames and stuff. But we will zoom out and look at this range once again. And I'm going to add one scenario here. Let's put that one in. I'm going to pull these three out. Where am I going to put them? I'm going to put them there. Okay. Okay. Let's see what's in here. Yes. Cool. Very nice. Let's start. By the way, Austin, I see a message. Beeldhoven, I see. Hi from Gouda. Davey, what's up? Sherry, I'm doing very good. Thank you. How are you doing, guys? You well? Mr. C, by the way, how did I almost miss it? What's up? Austin Davis, Bobby Rose, good to see you back, Koens. I was out all week last week, so I missed your return. Happy to get back in the charts myself. Happy to have you back in the charts and back in the chat as well. Jeroen, what's up? How are you doing? I'll message you, DM you after the live stream, right? I'll reply to your messages. Mark, how are you doing? Good afternoon to you from the south compared to where you live in the country. And let's start. We're going to do Elliott waves and then talk about holiday pictures. Cool. So, it has been increasingly complex with this small structure here when we look at the total range. So, let's go back in time just a little bit, right? If we go to videos a few days back, I mentioned that many people are looking for triangles. And when many are looking for the same thing, what are the probabilities for it playing out? Usually not that great. So from an Elliott wave perspective, I really enjoy to look for scenarios that don't follow the general consensus that you see online. And we had two scenarios on the chart to invalidate a triangle like this, A, B, C, D, E continuation, right? You saw it a lot probably online. And one was the WXY, WX, and then a flat in Y. And the second one is a bigger flat, A, B, C, where this is part of a WXY. We're going to talk about both of these scenarios in this live stream. But now that price moved above these highs, a triangle like this is invalidated, which is very nice. Now, potentially, I don't really follow crypto YouTube videos too much. I don't watch too much content myself. Got to be honest, I'm mainly creating and trading. I'm not really watching too much. I have no idea if people are talking about the breakout of this triangle, A, B, C, D, E. And now we move to the upside, where then the breakout is this, and then that, and then ta-da, right? And then we have A, and then we have B, and then C, D, E, right? General rules of a triangle. For your information, by the way, I sometimes see this in Discord as well. You can't use the letters A, B, C, D, E for anything else than a triangle. for your information. So you can't count an impulse with the letters, for example. It has to be a triangle. The A, B, C, D, E, that combination, right? But anyway, we then have this triangle, right? A, B, C, D, E, finish, and then a move towards the upside. You want to see continuation. But that is another triangle. And I got to say, I'm usually not too big of a fan of triangles. So I'm always a little bit on the, I like to sit back and observe. Not that I'm not trading, because I am in a long, right? So no problemo. But I like to wait patiently and see what's up. So I can imagine we have people trading the breakout of this triangle, retest of the triangle. And you can imagine, especially if price would move to the upside, there's going to be more joining because we have a market structure change above the triangle. Move up, move down, move up, break the high. Now, two of the scenarios that I'm going to show you today will lead to a move towards the downside, not the upside. And currently the probabilities remain higher for the WXY or the flat. In other words, yes, we can move to the common targets. I'll show you in a second. This is a lot of talking, but I'll get to the scenarios. We can move to the common targets of a flat, either in a Y or a B. I'll show you in a second. So we can still move higher, but currently the probabilities are still higher for price to move down after and continue this range. If we do not see weakness, we are just going to look for higher. But as it stands, the probabilities are not yet highest for continuation to the upside. And the chart is ever changing. It's always moving. And what we do as analysts is observe the latest ranges. So if price would move towards the upside, we're going to observe the range. We're going to observe the range and the rejection. And based on local price section, we can always readjust probabilities. Because if we are looking for that move down, we want to see an impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move to the downside to take this low or this low, depending on these scenarios. So a lot of chatting. Let's then start with the first scenario. Clean up the chart so you can exactly see what we're talking about. Yeah, the thing with triangles is the first thing people learn, usually in the industry, including myself, is trend lines and patterns. So the moment you have people doing, oh yeah, let me I'll pull a trend line here. Ah, okay, two hits. Oh, I can pull a whole trend line. Oh, wait, okay, so we have one trend line down, one up. Oh, wait, hey, triangle, that's a pattern. So, you know what I mean? How many people in the market are profitable? Patterns can be very profitable. Do not understand me wrong here. They can be very profitable if you have a solid plan and strategy. However, that's the thing. You need a plan and a strategy, which many people at the beginning don't have, as they need to build experience, including myself. So that was my mistake in the past as well. But hey, here we are many years later. The WXY, a sideways double combo structure, WX, and then we have a wave Y. We have two WXYs in Elliott waves. You have the sideways double combo, horizontal structure, and a sharp structure to the downside for much lower prices. The reason that the probabilities are much higher for a sideways double combo is because of wave X. Wave X hit the 0.786, and the 0.786 is above the 0.7. And the 0.7 would generally be a maximum target for a wave X in a double zigzag WXY to the downside for a very sharp corrective structure. We hit the 0.7, reducing probabilities for a sharp WXY to the downside, increasing probabilities for a horizontal movement WXY sideways double combo. In that case, wave W and wave Y are not allowed to have the same structure. So W can only be a zigzag, 535, or a flat. Clearly in this case, it's not a flat from this high to the downside, meaning we look for a zigzag. That means that wave Y, which can only be a zigzag, a flat, or a triangle, only has two options left, a flat or a triangle. Now, a triangle is not invalidated, by the way, gotta talk, but it's too early for me to talk about triangles. You have then a wave A, B, you need a C, D, E. B can move above the origin of A in a running triangle. But I prefer to talk about triangles only when a wave D is finished. So it's way too early for me to talk about triangles, and generally I'm not too big of a fan of triangles. So the flat is more interesting to me, where we then have a 3-wave A. We are looking for our B, which should be a 3-wave structure, which by the looks of this move to the upside is going to be a more complex structure. Likely a double zigzag, W, X, and then a Y with a final zigzag to the upside. It's not an easy structure to count, this one, which also is the reason why this morning there's some doubts on how to accurately count this. So that's why I do prefer to look at the very local structures, which we'll do as well. And then we look for a wave C. Now, the most common flat pattern, which is important to explain the targets here, the common flat pattern is an expanding flat, A, B, C. B moves above A, and the common target for B is the 1.236 to the 1.38, 73.5K, 74.6K. This is your common target area, happens to be the same level as the all-time high. No? This here, the 1 to the 105, is a target area for a regular flat, less common. It's an uncommon flat pattern, right? Most common is an expanding flat, B far above A, and a regular flat is more of a ranging structure. Less common. After B, we want to see a wave C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside. Now the reason, or the fact that price hit the less common target for like being the regular flat, the 1 to the 105, it would generally suggest that the probabilities, even though we have a bit of a dip, that's all fine, remain higher to still take this high before potentially at the later stage that low, because we didn't hit the common target area for a flat. Same with the flat I'm going to show you in a second. This is an uncommon flat target. It's possible if we get a strong impulse to the downside, right? But it remains an uncommon, and this remains common. And if we just base it simply on probabilities in an Elliott wave scenario, I can't make it any simpler. Common, uncommon, it's in the words, then the probabilities would be higher to go to this area compared to stopping at this area, moving down in an impulse. So naturally, one would expect to go to the common area unless proven differently. But at the moment, locally, there's not yet enough proof for the start of a wave C. We're going to zoom in here. So that is something that I want to share. Now, if price is going to turn around, wick the all-time high and move down, then this is your target area for your wave C, 62.4K, 58.4K. And the weekly gap on a weekly time frame is in confluence with this target area. You can see here the weekly gap, right? Low of this candle, high of this candle, creating the gap over here, right? And the low, or sorry, the high of this gap inside the target area. Important area of support. But also on the 4-hour time frame, we can go to the target areas that I have, the extra support and resistance areas. Very nice. You'll love to see it, eh? If it's nicely respected. We over here have a support area in confluence with the 1.618 over here. So we have support here and we have support at the low, not too much in the middle, right? So that's quite interesting. And yeah, that is basically the WXY. So the second scenario is the flat. Mentioned it earlier, right? When I was a lot of chatting and not too much showing. This is the bigger flat structure. And in this scenario, we have our wave A, 3-wave B, and then a 5-wave to the downside in a wave C, preferably taking the low of this wave A. All right, that is different compared to this flat. A, B, C, you want to see this low taken. This low, opportunity, doesn't have to, right? In an expanding flat. In an expanding flat, this one, A, B, C, you do want to see the low of this one taken. This one wouldn't be enough for an expanding flat. If it doesn't take this low, we call it a running flat, which is very rare. Never preferred, unless proven by all the other scenarios being invalidated. So in this bigger flat, we have the same story, no? We have the regular flat target, the 109 to the 105. The reason that the 0.9 or sorry, it's 0.9. The reason that the 0.9 is on the chart here is because we only touched the 0.9. Here I didn't add it because we already touched the 105 anyway. But officially, the regular flat target is the 0.9 to the 105. This area is your area of interest for a regular flat. Regular flats, again, not too common, but we have to keep them in mind. It is a resistance area, just like with the WXY, right? It is an area we at least have to be conscious about. But the common target area is this one. 78.8K, 76.9K, the 1.236 to the 1.38 pulled from the high to the low of wave A. We didn't reach it. We didn't reach the common target area for the WXY flat A, B, C. Neither did we reach the target area for this flat, the common one. So in both cases, we hit the uncommon target, right? Being the regular flat scenario, which is a valid flat, but it remains in the Elliott Wave patterns a more uncommon scenario. You have the expanding flat on 1, regular flat on 2, running flat on 3, right? So therefore, naturally, probabilities would gravitate to at least this area at a certain moment. Now keep in mind, a wave B has to be a 3-wave structure. So either an ABC or a WXY. I personally do prefer a WXY here based on the subwave structures, so the subwave, you know, how things are forming. Where in wave Y, if we are, let me actually remove the ABC, it's distracting. So if we are looking for a wave Y, we look for a 3-wave structure to the upside. I actually want to bring it back. I'm thinking while I'm talking. So in a wave Y, we're looking for a 3-wave structure being a zigzag to the upside in a 535. That means that somehow we need either already 5 in, look for 3 and continuation in a wave 5, or we already have 5 finished somehow. That's this area for you. It's very difficult to count. This is very much a 3-waver. Then you have a retracement. So you can have your WX, preferably finishing in this small range, WXY, but you can't have a WXY in B, WX, and then WX. This is not a 5-waver anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little bit of micro, low time frame counting. Yeah, you don't want a WXY in a wave Y, and in a wave C, you're looking for an impulse. So therefore, we actually want to count this structure as an impulsive structure. It's a very complex one, but we'll get to that complexity also in the bullish scenario, where you count this as a couple of 1-2s. We do have bullish divergences, right? These have played out here, but we also have bullish divergences with these lows. Higher low in price, lower low on the CVD. This high is the target. Another thing that does motivate us to look for like future upside is because price hit the 886. Taken from the high to the low, the 886 is a common target for a wave X or a wave B, rare for a wave 2. Any move to the downside has a higher probability of being a wave C or a wave Y, and therefore probabilities are higher to move to the high sooner or later. On the weekly time frame, probabilities are much higher for price to still continue to the upside and a bull run to continue as well, compared to a bearish impulsive structure to the downside towards much lower prices. It is no problem to wig the highs and move down. We are simply ranging, right? And we are talking about flats. You can go deep in a flat, back into the 50s, below 60s, no problemo, right? But we do expect price to move back towards the upside. Currently, a WXY or a flat has the higher probability. Now, if we look at the most bullish scenario, then we have the triangle here. I already spoke a little bit about this triangle at the beginning of this live stream. And then we need a couple of 1-2s because we are looking for bullish continuation. And the only way to do that is with an impulse. So in that case, we need a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, maybe another 1, 2. Who knows, right? It's just building 1-2s. And eventually you want a big wave 3 to the upside. No? If price is going to go below here, well, then this is not a 1-2 anymore. So that's 1-2 less. But then it becomes problematic to count this impulsively. And in general, if we look at this structure here, yeah, sometimes 1-2s can be a pain in the ass, but this is not looking very awesome, impulsive at the moment. We also have the highest amount of volume in this leg towards the upside, right? In this local move to the upside, highest amount of volume is over here. But instead of creating a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, we kind of dipped down and we went too deep for a wave 4. It's not really what you want to see in an impulse here. So yeah, I'm not a big fan yet of multiple 1-2s and looking for a very big 3. Now, what we always say here is we don't YOLO, FOMO, or catch knives, right? The WXY common target for a B is up there. For a flat is up here. And for bullish continuation, we expect upside anyway. So if price moves up, we look for proof of resistance. I am not interested in randomly shorting in a strong bull market, right? You always have those people, right? I don't know where that comes from. You always have them that are like, oh yeah, we go down. Let me short here. Oh, it's going to go down. Oh, wait. Yeah. Yeah. You know, and if you have a valid reason to go short by having a plan, a strategy, a stop loss, a target, right? Data, there's no problem with a short. But YOLOing, FOMOing, or catching knives is something we do not do on this channel, at least not me, unless it is part of your plan. So if price does move up and we eventually take the high, which by far is the highest probability in this range, of course we can continue the range, right? Range. But probabilities are to take this high. If we take it, I observe the reaction, I will be very patient. I want to see what price is going to do, maybe create a bit of a range, and then I reassess probabilities. And if I see what I want to see, that is when I might get interested in looking for a move against the trend, right? But I need some proof of resistance and not just randomly YOLOing into a short because price goes up or down or long, you know. Now, locally, we had a, the live stream of yesterday, right, was finished over here somewhere. And I mentioned we wait for a range to form. Now, the range formed overnight, so of course, it's a bit difficult to talk about it when I'm asleep. But we had some bearish CVD divergences. These played out. More bearish CVD divergences also played out. And interesting, FIB from the low to the high, 886 touched. Probability is higher to take the double bottom over here, including bearish CVD divergences. Very high probabilities to take these lows. That has now happened where the price bounced on top of the value area high, which you saw on my chart if you have the chart open like on your screen. Link is in the description. No? So it's just public. It's free as well, by the way. There are channels that actually you need to pay to see their chart. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about this. Currently, there's a move to the upside. Wait, let me get something else on the stream here, because I want to show you my thought process. Okay. If you have a strategy catching knives, it's no problem, eh? That's what I say. But generally, especially for people that don't have too much experience in the market, the catching knives is trying to catch that low. Maybe you try to, you know, have a nice picture to share on social media and that rubbish. But, you know, catching knives, if it's part of a strategy, is very, very good and very profitable. But you need a plan. You need a plan. So my way of thinking this morning, area of support, the first area of support over here. Now, soon after, I wrote this message here. So I like to add, as common flat targets aren't hit, as mentioned in this video. This is pretty much what I explained at the beginning, right? The common targets for flats are not yet hit. So naturally, from an Elliott Wave point of view, you would like to see price still moving up eventually to hit those common target areas before any move below 64K. Just to make my text visual, because I had an idea here for a potential corrective structure, this is what I mean with possibly a double zigzag. They like to end on high volume, some sort of a WXY. This was more like schematic, not in detail counting because it's very low time frame, 5-minute stuff here. But they do like to end on high volume and remaining patient. That's what I always like to say. Now I remained patient, and then we had this little bit of bullish CVD on the 3-minute time frame. Higher low in price, lower low on the CVD. First bit of proof of support very, very locally coming in. Then we had some bearish CVDs here. But as I mentioned, if bearish CVDs are continuing to form as price is moving to the downside, and what I'm then talking about is we get a move down and a move up and a move down and a move up. And you get more bearish, and more bearish. I'm talking, I want to see that low taken eventually. Instead, we moved towards the upside and we took the high here, range, swing failure pattern of the liquidity of the high and down again. And is this a 886? What's this here? This is very low time frame counting. I shouldn't actually look at this 886 in particular. But if we observe this structure, we have a move to the upside. The high has been taken. And we move down now. Now, if we take a trend-based fib extension, right, from the low to the high to the low we have at the moment, then what you will see is that this being a 3-wave structure would generally be too short of a corrective structure, as the 0.618 for corrective structures, either an ABC or a WXY, is generally a bit of a minimum target. Sorry, that's my alarm going off. Let me actually put the speaker out. So we didn't hit this target. Also for a zigzag, we didn't hit the zigzag target here. Neither did we hit the wave Y target area in this range. So it's not very nice to end a corrective structure at this high here. Now, when we look at this move to the downside, this is also where a bit of the doubt this morning came in. This move down, as sharp as it looks on a 15-minute, if you go to the 3-minute, the only way I could count some sort of an impulsive structure in here would be some diagonal move where you have your 1, 2, 3, 4, and your final 5, but your 5 is longer than your wave 3, which in a diagonal would then lead to an expanding diagonal, and an expanding diagonal is rare. Other than that, there's actually a lot of overlap, especially in this area, making it difficult to count this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because of the overlap. Overlap equals diagonal, expanding diagonal because of 5 longer than 3, rare probabilities for an expanding diagonal. So it's actually not too easy to count this on the 3-minute as a very impulsive structure. Yeah, so then what? Could be a 3-waver and then your W, X, and a Y. And that is where that WXY came from, that I then shared as an example over here. Just because I was looking here, I was like, well, could there be a bit of a W in there instead of an impulsive structure? Possibly. Now, after that, price moved to the downside and we have a high amount of volume in the low. Now, if we are talking about an impulse to the downside, we want to see a wave 3, eventually a 4 and a 5, and a wave 3 then contains the highest amount of volume in that local move towards the downside, which means we're looking for a 5-wave structure. Either the 5-waver begins here or it begins there. You're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can it start here? I mean, 1, 2. You can't have this as a 3, 4 because of the overlap. So then you need a 1, 2, 1, 2 and continue, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You know what I mean? So probabilities here from an Elliott Wave point of view would be higher to take the highs again before the low generally, just because if we look at Elliott waves, this move is very short. So you have a first structure, a second structure, and if you're looking for a third, you actually want to at least hit the 0.618, which we didn't. So there is the potential here for a flat, hit the golden pocket, and a move towards the upside. We didn't actually hit the golden pocket yet. We did take that low. And with regards to the impulse to the downside, as I was talking about it, highest amount of volume over here, so we want to see a 4 and a 5. But if we take a fib, all right, let's take it from this high. So if we would start counting as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right, then your wave 4 is invalidated because we hit the 618. If we use the higher pivot as the start of an impulse, right, so this is then your 1, your 2, no, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, hit the 618, invalidated, 1, 2, oh yeah, and this somehow needs to be a 3, but this is very, in other words, it doesn't look great. For an impulse to the downside, this is less relevant. We have overlap here as well. So probabilities at the moment are not highest for impulsive structures to the downside. It looks more corrective. Now you can have zigzag structures which can look like impulses, like a W, X, and then eventually a Y, right? They can be sharp, they can have volume, but the probabilities, even though you could look for a WXY or even a WXYXZ, as we still have a little bit of support down here as well, the probabilities remain higher to then take the low at a later stage. So, yeah. Some bullish CVD on yellow. See how that works out. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And because I don't have too much time, I actually want to talk about holiday pictures, as I promised to show you some stuff. So let me, oh, by the way, support resistance, above and below price. Have a look here. These are the levels, right? Support, we have some support down here. We are coming down now in a bit of volume. As always, I like to see proof of support, right? We had a hit here, some 3-minute bullish CVD, interesting little scalp as well. But also here, right? Little bit of volume increasing. We want to see some proof of support, no? And your resistance, daily naked point of control, and then we have some nicer resistance up here. Support area, red line is the point of control of this range, and a value area low over here. And then pretty much we go to 67.9K, no? So on the 4-hour time frame, let me zoom out. It's much easier. Elliott waves on higher time frames generally, right, is recommended, compared, especially if newer to Elliott waves, compared to the very low time frames. Probabilities on a weekly time frame are by far highest to still take this high. Probabilities on the 4-hour time frame are also higher to take this high, right, and this high here, before any significant move down, simply because of the common flat pattern being an expanding flat and not a regular flat. So yeah, we can have a retracement. We have some support here as well, but then probabilities would be highest for a 3-wave structure compared to taking the low at the moment. But as always, we want to see proof of support, right? Not YOLOing or FOMOing, proof of support in the area of interest. With regards to the holiday pictures, quick little look in the chat here. Starting time, I forgot the starting time. But that doesn't matter because I have to go very, very, very soon. So the neutral, dancing between neutral and, yeah, but that's the thing. If everyone is bullish, be careful, right? Especially the moon boys. But we are talking about price taking the high, so we are still bullish. But it depends on the time frame you're talking. On the weekly, we are looking for continuation of the bull market. On the 4-hour, continuation of the range at the moment has a higher probability. And we take it step by step. So with new information coming in, we can readjust. Bina, you may have to select the notification. Hamza, welcome. Dr. Daddy, what's up? Matthäus, Desu, Tim, goedemorgen, goedemiddag bedoel ik. Yes, and that is actually where the golden pocket is just a little bit lower. It is quite common after an 886 touch to hit the golden pocket, and we are very close. So the golden pocket could act as a nice area of support. Doesn't look like there's too much support here at the moment coming in. Again, we want to see some proof of support, right? Just like with the low on the 3-minute. So I was observing this. We hit it, and then we saw bullish CVDs here. That for me is a little bit of proof of support. And now we come down, bit of volume increasing. Looks like there's not too much life here. So not a great corrective structure. But let's see. Take a fib from the low. Oops. From the low to the high. And we are now at the golden pocket. So we just observe. We observe. Exactly. Which exact high of wave X do you use for the WXY scenario? The triple top, the highest high of the triple top. Hey Sandra, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Christian, to touch 63K, we need to flat for that. So first we are looking for price to actually move up, and then we observe what price does at resistance. But generally now flat structures have a higher probability than very impulsive continuation. Okay, that being said, I promised some pictures. We better jump into it because I have very little time. My train is gonna leave soon. So first of all, that's me and my brothers. Just so you know, this is Sjoerd, that's Tom, that's Lemois, right? This is a good friend of mine, Yip. He was the MC of the event. This is Yip as well in the family. We were on top of a Lion's Head here, which is a, let me actually do, can I, 1 second, let me do this. So I can, I can see the chat at the same time. So with the fam, with my mom as well, these are the 12 apostles, right? On Table Mountain, by the way, this is all Table Mountain. And then we have my dad's website. I'm not here to market his website, but the pictures are on his website. So he is a photographer, hobby photographer. He has been doing this for years and years and years. He has this massive camera and all that stuff. So you'll find lots of stuff. Ruudschobbers.com. I mean, you'll see his name anyway. But this is our trip in pictures. And I just really quickly wanna scroll through them so you have an idea of what we've been through when we were there. I was with my parents a lot of the time as well. And yeah, it's South Africa. It's beautiful. This is when we were hiking Lion's Head, Camps Bay area, the 12 apostles here as well. In the South Africans will know. Myself and Yip, together with Lindy here on the rocks. And Tim was also here, by the way. Tim in the chat. He was also in South Africa. So yeah, it's a beautiful scenery. Here are you. Look, we took a picture of chat as well. So that's you guys, right? You were there with us. We always think about you. Table Mountain. We hiked Table Mountain as well, the Skeleton Gorge. So it's me. It's not me. Boop. See ya. So we have here some pictures of the top of Table Mountain towards Lionhead, Signal Hill, the city center of Cape Town with the waterfront area, the arena of the World Championships many years ago, I believe 2010, no? And then you go like Sea Point, Green Point, and then eventually you end up at Camps Bay there. So yeah, great pictures. Made some more pictures of chat, as you can see, at Boulders Beach. So you guys were modeling very, very nicely, chilling in the sun. No? Some more. There's also a few carcasses. So my parents went on safari together. Look, there's also, they got to eat. So So my parents actually drove the garden route. So I wasn't here with these pictures. These are things I didn't see. I've been here before. So this bridge, I've been here in 2017 when I was traveling through South Africa myself, backpacking. Oh, look, this is Mark, by the way. Say hi to Mark. Made a picture of Mark as well. He was with us in South Africa. He always loves to do his hair, as you can see. So he's working out as well, man. Like, look at him go. Holy moly. So, well, it's actually pretty neat, you know? Cape Town by night, not bad, eh? The national flower of South Africa, very nice. And then some hiking and vineyards. So yeah, that is it. Well, will there be? Yeah, we already covered the price action talk. So I recommend to go to the beginning, but I have to go now. So it's a very short stream. Go to minute, I suppose, 10, and that's where it starts. But I'll put the timestamps in after this live stream because I have to go. I got to speak tonight at an event. I have to literally leave the house in a few minutes to catch the train. So I'm sorry it's going to be a very short one. Tonight, no update because I have to speak at an event, right? Global keynote speaker, got to speak. And the next update will be tomorrow, but I covered as much as I could in this update so that you are prepared for whatever is going to come, right? No financial advice, as you know, it's YouTube, but I do my best to share all my Elliott Wave insights with you. So, yeah, that being said, you know, let's next time. I still need to the pictures of my wedding, so these still have to come. But the brand of the camera, I think it is Sony, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I have to speak, guys. I got to catch a train. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you at the next one. New stream tomorrow. Cheers.